Alright. We are live, and I have returned for some more Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. So, we are starting episode 4, or the 4th case, of the quote-unquote second game. This is called Twisted Karma and His Last Bow. Assuming it's bow. Can never be quite sure, but I'm assuming it's bow, and not bow. Alright, let's go. It was indeed a most bizarre incident, born of a curious advertisement and a commonplace killing at the...
Pipe in hand, Sholmes looked down at the thick, rolling fog outside our window. I wonder exactly how many mysteries are out there, hidden within this bed of fog, he said. Indeed, a most bizarre incident, born of a curious advertisement. A hellhound's mad gallop through the shadows of a serial murder, an executed man's graveyard resurrection in the dead of night. And a commonplace killing in a small, forgotten room at the edge of town. There is, naturally, always another side to every case, of which most remain ignorant. And it is that other side which compels me to the scene of the crime, Wilson. So quickly now, take your hat and let's be on our way, my dear fellow. For our adventure is not over yet. Come, the game is afoot.
Days after that earth-shattering trial, and Kazuma regaining his memory. We were in the foyer of one of London's most luxurious hotels, the Great Waterloo Hotel. 1st of November, 10:24 a.m., Great Waterloo Hotel. Is this kind of like the Gatewater Hotel from Phoenix Wright? Professor Mikitoba is due to arrive at any moment. Yes! I'm so glad we got here in time! Chisato-san hasn't been the same since what happened. Not that I'm surprised. The truth about Kazuma-sama's father... Do you suppose my father knew? That he was actually the mass murderer of the professor, you mean? Hey, no problem, thank you. Appreciate it. I knew that's what she was thinking about. There's a good chance, I'd say. I mean... Sure. Sleep till you're playing video games, hopefully I don't see you in my dreams. That'd be kind of weird, not that there's anything wrong with you being in my dreams, buddy. A winky face. A winky face right back at you. They did come here to London together 16 years ago, didn't they? Yes, that's true. Come to think of it, didn't you say that Professor Mikitoba knew about Kazuma going missing in Hong Kong as well? That's right. But for some reason, he wasn't at liberty to talk to me about it. That probably means he knows that, about Kazuma showing up here in London with amnesia, and that he's regained his memory now. Ah, there she is. Who the heck? Oh, it's, is that the judge? It is. Dang. Oh, Father! Hello, Chisato. How are you? I'm very well, thank you. We're delighted you arrived safe and sound. Hello, Mr. Naruhodo. Very kind of you to take the trouble to meet us here. Oh, no, not at all. It's, my pleasure. We've heard all about your extraordinary exploits here in London, you know. The news has crossed the seas. It has?
I always look forward to reading the monthly reports that arrive with the steamships from Britain.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much. Who is this man? Why do I feel as though I've seen him before?
It's the judge, Ryunosuke. I take it from your expression that you can't quite place me.
In that case, how about a little reminder, Seishiro? A firm tap should do it.
Yes.
A firm tap? What? Oh no, am I gonna get thrown down?
Here we go then. I hereby pronounce the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, guilty.
Oh! You're... That's right, he only did one case with him, didn't he? Yep. Yep.
Court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Your Excellency! Hello, Judge Jikoku. How are you? It's been a long time.
Good. You've remembered now. That really did the trick. Guilty!
I was declared not guilty, wasn't I? There was no laughing at the time.
So, London again after all this time. Hard to believe it's been 10 years. To be honest, I thought I'd be back.
Neither did I. I didn't imagine Japan would ever be invited to an international symposium like this. Though, really, I doubt anyone did, to be honest. It's all thanks to you, isn't it, Seishiro?
Are you talking about Eugen?
Of course, Judge Jikoku, he must complete the set. He's the other man who 16 years ago came to London with Kazuma's father and Professor Mikitoba. He's the third visiting scholar. The three wise men. The lolly-lully-lo. Well, all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took rather a lot of time. I must say, I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you? Ha ha! You didn't get a cavity search, but I sure did. I didn't like it one bit. Ha ha!
I knew you were jealous. That's right.
Sorry? Ministerial status? Yes, didn't you know? Seishiro here is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. It was his personal insistence that allowed you to take Kazuma's place here on this study tour. Oh, I don't think we knew that before.
Guilty as charged.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Really every bit as important as he looks. Yes now, Naruhodo. I received a telegram from Lord Strongheart yesterday. Oh, you did? It appears that, some things came to light in a trial you were involved with 8 days ago. About what happened 10 years ago. Tragedy. Yes, could you tell us any more about it? Oh, time to talk, I guess. Alright. What is this? Look at those cases just left there on that trolley. Aren't they worried about thieves? I know I am. Haven't you seen the porter over there? Don't worry. He's obviously keeping an eye on everything. So it's a trap designed to catch any chancers who might be tempted. Hey, that guy looks familiar. Who the heck is that? Why did the porter give me such a scathing look just now, you suppose? Some might say you look a little suspicious with jet black clothes. Not everyone clad in black is some sort of ninja with intent to steal, you know. Have you seen all those sparkling jewels up there? I must have gathered every gem in the world for that. It's called a chandelier, I believe. It's designed to provide elegant lighting in large, spacious rooms like this. So they had to gather every gem in the world just to illuminate one room? It's probably electric light bulbs that are actually throwing the light. Have I tried to hang something like that from that ceiling in the office? It would be scraping on the floor. I think perhaps chandeliers aren't for you, Mr. Naruhodo. That desk is known as the hotel reception. Anyone wanting to spend the night has to report there to sign in for their stay. Oh, so do you think that's the head clerk behind the desk there? Yes, I'm sure it must be. I'd love to stay in a grand hotel like this for a little while, wouldn't you? Just to know what it's like. If the hotel fee was paid through our stipend, I'm afraid it would bankrupt our homeland. True. London gives the word expensive a whole new meaning. Even today, I think it's like one of the top 5 most expensive cities in the world to live in. Anything else cool to look at? Let's look at the Eiffel Tower. I'm assuming that's it. Oh, the Crystal Tower. I'm sorry. I'm such a Philistine. Look at that. It's a picture of the Crystal Tower. Well, the Great Exhibition is one of Britain's most prestigious achievements in recent years. I wonder how tall it is. It really does represent the pinnacle of scientific achievement in so many ways. There's a 20-meter tall chimney on the bathhouse near my lodgings at UMA University. The attendant there is always boasting that it's the tallest object in the neighborhood. Well, I'm sure. Did you know that over the channel in Paris, there's a tower that's 300 meters tall? What? How many times taller than the chimney at Yume Soken Hot Springs is that? And if that's that tall, how does it draw properly? That smoke would get stuck, surely. I don't think it's that sort of tower, Mr. Naruhodo. No, it's the Eiffel Tower, right? It's a very tall tower. I've been to the top of it. Alright. Well, that's it. That's all we can look at. Now I guess we gotta move with the plot. Hey, look at my armband. Professor Mikitova, I wonder, could I show you something? Why do you seem so nervous? I suppose because I'm a student showing something to a professor, that's always quite nerve-wracking. Well, I'm sorry I perturb you in that way. Anyway, afraid I have nothing useful to say about that, really. Really? You have nothing to say about the armband from Kazuma? Okay. Sorry, I guess I have amnesia too. Journey from Japan. So, how was the voyage here? Well, 50 days at sea is a long time by anyone's standards. But it wasn't as bad when we first came 16 years ago. No, that's true, and I truly wondered if we wouldn't be drifting in the vast ocean for the rest of our lives. This time we followed the same route as you, so we were able to relax and enjoy the experience. So you stopped in France's beautiful capital, Paris? We did, yes, though only for one night. And yesterday evening, we left the port of Dunkirk for Dover. Just in time for the symposium, in fact. It starts tomorrow. It's wonderful that you were invited to such an important international event. I'm very proud of you, Father. It's thanks to Seishiro here. 16 years ago, he managed to ingratiate himself with Britain's Attorney General. Sure, that's why he was invited. And I suppose you could say I'm something of an appendage by default. I'm something of an appendage myself. Speak for yourself, Eugen. You are close friends with the Professor of Forensic Science at a major hospital. Yes, well, I'd rather not dredge all that out, really. No, there's been a lot of water under the bridge since then, but it doesn't bring him back. Kazuma's father, I suppose. Let's talk about Kazuma's father, shall we? The professor, the killer who took the lives of 5 members of the British aristocracy, was actually Kazuma's father, wasn't he? That's correct. Genshin Sogi. Genshin Impact. It's a mobile game. Have you ever played it, Ryunosuke? There's a lot of waifus in it. Genshin... New, I presume, Father? Yes, he was a close friend at the time. Genshin came to Britain as a police detective. He was studying investigative techniques at Scotland Yard. I've never understood what drove the man to commit such heinous acts, except for the fact that he was very obviously framed. It was a closed trial, so the public never knew the truth. He was executed with little ado. To this day, very few people know what really happened, even in our homeland. Almost like he was framed. But what about Cosmo? Did he know? Did he know the truth about his father? No, of course not. He told his father passed from sickness. However, I suspect he may have had his doubts. Oh, why? As you know, I tried to guide Kazuma growing up, as if he were my own son. Then, one day, he came to my office at the university and said, I've decided. I want to travel to Great Britain and study there. Do you think he wanted to come here to investigate his father's death? Well, didn't he tell Ryunosuke back in the first game that he had a reason for coming here? I think he did. I bet that's the reason. I don't know. I looked into his eyes. I did know that there was no way I'd be able to stop him. Something else came to light in that trial the other day, actually. Oh, what? Well, having disappeared in Hong Kong and been missing for almost a year, Kazuma's since turned up here in London, working as the apprentice of Lord Van Zykes. What? What? That's news to us. So, Lord Strongheart's telegram neglected to mention that part then. Yeah, why wouldn't you mention that, Strongheart? Let's talk about Kazuma's reappearance, shall we? Okay. As you know, we both thought Kazuma had died on the steamship during our voyage to Great Britain in January. But he didn't die. He's alive. As you knew, didn't you, Father? In actual fact, no. What I did know is that when your ship docked in Hong Kong, he mysteriously vanished. We sent a team of investigators to Hong Kong to try to ascertain what had happened, but to no avail. But he's still alive? Here in London, you say? Never dared even to dream it. Why on earth did the young man not make contact? The government and the police have been chasing clues fruitlessly for months now. Oh, it seems that he was suffering from amnesia. What? Amnesia? When we first came across him again here in London, he didn't know who either of us were. I see. He only regained his memory 8 days ago. This is unbelievable. Yes, quite miraculous. Wonder why Lord Strongheart didn't let us know. I must speak with him urgently. Wonder how Kazuma's been these past few months. Would it be wrong of us to go visit him? I don't think it'd be wrong for you to go visit him. Come on. Let's talk about your time in prison. Or in Britain. Prison. That began 16 years ago now. It's a distant memory, really. Who was Yujin here? Genshin, Isogi, and myself? They were the original three. The first judicial scholars from Japan to travel overseas to study. Ocean voyages were not what they are today, I can tell you. 16 years ago, things were tough for their generation. Your father was an exceptionally fine medical student at Yume University at the time, you know, young lady. Yes, grandmother told me. He went to do research at a great London hospital to study autopsy, practically unheard of in Japan. Yes, it was an eerie place, sandwiched between the back of a prison and a burial ground. Ugh, not more talk of graves. Very often, there's no one willing to deal with bodies following autopsy work. So you see, autopsy labs have something of an unavoidable relationship with graveyards and prisons. Not my cup of tea at all. Do you remember that Scottish prison governor? Hayden, his name was? He was a good man. Yes, but then of course, in our 6th year here, everything changed with that dreadful case. Genshin was arrested for a series of the most gruesome murders. I simply couldn't believe it. I'd known the man for years. I was a witness at the secret hearing, and I tried to speak in his defense, but you went a little too far and ended up facing charges yourself, didn't you? What? Really? Well, suffice to say that after the trial, we were sent back to Japan. There was nothing more we could do to save Genshin. He was a lost cause, sadly. Well, if you'll excuse us now. Yes, I'd like to get this trunk up to my room as soon as possible. Oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have held you up here for so long. I'll call for the porter then. Just wait here. Sato-san's gone off at a run. I'd like to stay and talk more, but I do have various preparations to make for tomorrow. Yes, of course. It must be a big responsibility representing our entire country. I wish you the best of luck. Naruhodo, I hope you'll keep an eye on Susato for me. Keep looking after her, as you obviously have been. Oh no, I mean, if anyone's looking after anyone, it's her looking after me. Well, I do appreciate you being there for her. After all, I've been a miserable father to her. I've thoroughly let her down. What do you mean? Well, it was 16 years ago that I started my long study tour here in Britain, as you know. For a year, Susato was born. Yes, I heard. The birth of my daughter was the most joyous event of my life, but... well, sadly it was accompanied by the most tragic event of my life, too. Oh, yes. Susato-san hinted at something like that. Yeah, didn't his wife die? It was a rather turbulent time at home. Anyway, I'm on board you with the details. The point is, I became rather less dependable as a grown man. And it was then that Seishiro offered me the opportunity to study here in Great Britain. So I jumped in a boat and left my daughter behind. I'm a great father. I was too worried about you to leave you behind. But perhaps I was a little heavy-handed when it came to persuading you to accompany me to London. So that's what happened in a nutshell. And that's also the reason why I now feel compelled to give my daughter as many opportunities as I dare. Though the world does not readily afford young women such things, I must say. I completely understand, Professor. Ah, one other thing, Naruhodo. If I may be so bold, I have a favor to ask you. Really? Of course. What can I do for you? Well, the thing is, I'm sorry that took so long. Susato. Now then, allow us to take your bags. Allow me to take your bags. One moment, if you please, Porter. Of course, sir. That machine around your neck. It's a camera, I believe. Quite right, sir. Just 5 shillings for a lovely photograph to commemorate a wonderful stay at the hotel, sir. Well, I think given the occasion, we could justify the expense. Oh, yes, of course. Picture. Oh, nice. I'd like to thank you for coming with me, Mr. Naruhodo. It's really made Father very happy, I think. Oh, well, I'm pleased then. We were interrupted before. Professor Mikotoba was about to ask me something. Shall we return to Baker Street then? I expect Iris will have some delicious tea waiting for us. Yes, let's go. I'm getting more and more anxious about Kazuma. Perhaps I'll try to meet with Lord Strongheart later and ask after him. Alright, so we gotta move. Got it. New location has been added. Well, the plot wants us to go to Sholmes' suite, so let's live with the plot for now. 1st of November, Sholmes' suite. Hey, I see a mask. Hey, what? with accent marks above the E? What? What was that? Just what I want to know. Man screaming in a most unflattering way. Do you think that have been Mr. Sholmes? Oh my, I do hope not. What is going on here? I don't do it anymore. Who's talking? What is going on? Help. No. Mon ami, mon ami. Stop this disgraceful display. Huh? Who are these people? Look at that hair. It's bright red. Oh, this is the Red-Headed League, isn't it? They hinted at that last game. We're fully doing the Red-Headed League now. I think they must be clients of Mr. Sholmes. Gina, what are you doing here? Right, you two. You're coming with me now. Down to the clink. No, not in prison. It's dark and damp, and I don't like it. Buff the darkness, it is my friend. I am not scared. Oh, but you are always scared of the dark. Shut your mouth, you idiot. I will sit quietly in the dark and plan on next daring ice. I don't like this. I don't like it. Well, tough. We'll finish this down the yard. Now get moving. Bye then, Ginny. Have fun. Oh yeah, thanks, Iris. And thanks, you great detective. Gina makes a fine detective herself, doesn't she? Oh, Susie, and Runo. Hello, Iris. We're home. Well, did you find your daddy? Yes, we arrived at the hotel just before he and his friend. I was so happy to see my daddy, unlike you, whose daddy is dead. Oh, well that's great news. I hope I'll get to see my daddy again soon. Haha, what did I just say? Oh, Iris. Dramatic irony, it's so painful. Why do we have to do this? Yes, of course. Dr. John H. Wilson. So, Iris, I'm assuming this is Sholmes. All that remains now is that greatest of problems known to man. Heck, but before we concern ourselves with that, I believe some tea is in order, don't you, my dear fellows? This is Harry. Something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Do I have a crumb or such like on my face? Not so much on your face as on your head, I'd say. Come along then, everyone. I've brewed a lovely special blend. Time for tea. Yes, time for tea. I am, in fact, drinking some Earl Grey right now. What's going on here today? In that case, let us sit and drink now. For I am, in fact, expecting a guest later today. You're expecting a guest, huh? Alright, let's do the traditional look at everything in their study. I finally managed to remember this behemoth's name, the Great Analytoscope. I don't think it was here when I left for Japan, was it? Oh, is that right? Yes, because it was with the pawnbroker. Ah, of course. Oh, that's given me a wonderful idea. I can pawn everything that's on your desk. The office will be tidy at last. You have a joke about it, Mrs. Sato. You're joking, aren't you? This is Mr. Sholmes' famous violin. One he found being sold for a song at a pawnbroker. What's it called again? A shoddy something? Oh yes, this wonderful instrument features in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. It's a world-famous Stradivarius. Got a... what now? Stradivarius, Mr. Naruhodo. Stragavor... Are you even trying now? We'll come back to this another time, I think. There's all sorts of these shelves. Chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high, I can't help feeling that the it's gonna topple. It looks as though it might topple a muted peasant, the epitome of Mr. Sholmes' brilliance. I don't get it. As it happens, I'm quite well practiced when it comes to stacking shelves myself. Just the other day, the shelf in my office finally gave way under the strain. It looks as though it might topple, and it does. Yes, the epitome of your disarray. I really don't get it. Let's see. Let's look at the mask, because that's Cosimo's mask. Yep. The mask Cosimo wore when he was assigned to Lord Van Zykes' apprentice. When he casted a sign after the trial the other day, I just sort of picked it up. Not to give it back to him, I suppose. He has his memory back now, doesn't he? And I can't help feeling he might turn around and tell me coldly to wear it myself. But isn't he your best friend? Yes, Mr. Sholmes' curious collection of trinkets and the various mysteries he solved. It's one of my favorite parts of this room, full of items with such exciting tales to tell. And I do believe he's added to it since I last looked. Now, there's a mysterious pince-nez, a mysterious little box, a mysterious horseshoe, a mysterious biscuit. I think that last one might just be one of Iris's unfinished snacks. Is always drawn to this big metal chest that Mr. Sholmes and Iris use as a coffee table. Isn't it where Iris keeps her very important papers? It is, so you'd think that they treat it with more care, really. The other day, I saw Mr. Sholmes kick it. Oh no! Oh, something must have been frustrating him. Shame to mistreat the furniture, though. Damaged? The chest was fine, but Mr. Sholmes was doubled up on the floor for almost 10 minutes. Oh dear. Is a painful tale. This looks like last week's edition. There's that article circled in red there. It's an advertisement. It says, to the Red-Headed League. I called it. Red-Headed League? What's that? I've never heard of it before, but... There's something on my face. Clearly this has something to do with that lively hair. Red-Headed League article has been entered into the court record. Hey, if this were the Miles Edgeworth game, we could connect the logic. Red-Headed League, on account of the bequest of the late Ezekiah Hopkins of Lebanon, Pennsylvania, United States, there is now another vacancy open that entitles a member of the League to a salary of £4 a week for fairly nominal services. All red-headed men who are sound in body and mind and above the age of 21 years are eligible. Apply in person on the morning of the 31st at the large park on Lime Street. Get £4 per week if you are a redhead. A most fantastic money-making. Okay. That's cool. Wait a minute. I just saw something down here. There's a physician named Jon Snow. Does he know anything? You get it? You know? Game of Thrones memes? That's a show everybody likes, right? It had a great ending. Anyway. Well, I want to look at all this, but I do like the fireplace. It's one of the best things I've seen since we arrived in the country, in fact. Although, I do yearn for a Japanese kotatsu. Okay, we've had this conversation before, and every time they do it, I think I should get a kotatsu myself, because that would be kind of fun. Yeah. Don't put your feet in the fire, don't get burned. Might summon that one Mega Man X boss who just says burn to the ground over and over and over again. You know, they're both games made by Capcom. Joke's on us, though. Capcom doesn't acknowledge the Mega Man franchise anymore. Iris's pretty little tea set is set out beautifully as ever. Look. Oh, it's only by carefully taking care of a tea set that you can make good tea. Is that a roundabout way of telling me I need to tidy my desk? Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, you do overthink things at times. blackboard is where Iris scribbles down her latest ideas, isn't it? Let's see. Oh, she seems to have drawn a lot of little stick figures all lined up. Look. Cheap apples at the market is what all of them say. What? Little figures can speak? All your questions would be answered if only you would read this month's Rand's magazine. So I'm the only one who can't make any sense of this? I guess so. That's Iris's wonderful collection of medicines, potions, and chemicals. Just look at all the little bottles she squeezed into her nose. Yes, and there are charming little ribbons tied around the bottles, too. But the labels aren't quite so charming, are they? This one here reads, deadly poison. Oh, I've been so excited about the idea of helping Iris with her experiments, you know. Just try to avoid any bottles labeled deadly poison. Highly explosive. Okay. I guess the only other thing to look at is her typewriter. Let's check it out. If I remember correctly, this large and imposing lump of iron is called a typewriter. I think that every single one of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes blossomed from this very machine. It's such a dreamy thought. I actually had a go on it the other day. The metal bars that move when you hit the keys got all tangled up somehow. That made Iris angry. Or, hold on. You're ruining my dreamy thoughts. Please, don't do that again. Ugh, now I made Cesaro-san angry. Alright, let's go talk to Sholmes. Here, look at this magazine. It looks as though someone circled an advertisement in this paper, Mr. Sholmes. To the Red-Headed League? That strike you in some way. I was thinking that just maybe it might be related to your bright red hair. So, at last you've learned to apply my methods, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? In the first instance, I'm quite indispensable. Observation. Believe me, I could have seen that hair with my eyes shut. So then, let me regale you with the details of my latest exploits. Regale or boast? Okay, we just unlocked that. About... armband, let's talk about that. Mr. Sholmes, about this. Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, is this the first time you've shown me this particular trinket? Oh, I don't really remember, to be honest. Am I saying that it's a collar for a breed of miniature canine with a particularly long neck? To precipitate, here we go again. So we can be sure it was not the first time. Deduction, you see, my dear fellow. Deduction! So that is what you've said in the past, so we got it. Alright, let's start from the top. Your two visitors. Mr. Sholmes, who were the two gentlemen that were here before? Oh, just a pair of petty criminals. Nothing of significance. Of course, they have to make a living somehow. And when the mood takes me, I'm willing to turn a blind eye to all manner of infractions. The mood takes you? All manner of infractions? But when such fellows set their sights on Mr. Sherlock Holmes, well, that's when their luck runs out. Oh my, you were the target of a crime, Mr. Sholmes? But I quickly devised a plan to entrap them and deliver them to our young detective ally. I should have asked Gregsy to come too. We've had an arresting tea party. I did send word, but no answer was forthcoming. The man is consummately in the wrong place at the wrong time. There's a word for it. Sure. Ah, I have it. A bungler. That's the word. It's a good job he's not here to hear you say that. So those redheads have been up to no good? I wonder what the men did. Alright, let's talk about the greatest problem. What was that about the greatest of problems known to man that you mentioned before? Is it another fiendishly intricate case, Mr. Sholmes? Could I best explain it? You're aware of the theory of evolution by natural selection, perchance? Well, I think I've heard talk of it somewhere, possibly. It's a revolutionary scientific theory that was newly proposed 40 years ago now. According to its author, Mr. Darwin, the humans were once apes who lived in the treetops. Wait, what? We were apes? Indeed, and from the very moment those apes descended from the canopy to live as humans, there's been a lot to be at the mercy of the greatest problem known to man. What? What is this great problem, Mr. Sholmes? Why, it is not obvious, my dear madam. The problem of rent. I received a rather large sum of money from Madame Tusples only the other day. Sure, a large sum? One potted herb, iris, and a new motor car for me later, and all of it has quite disappeared, I assure you. Slay early. You know you squandered it. Yes, well, anyway, 2 days ago. I discovered the answer to man's greatest problem, for the coming month at least. What's the answer? Why, there is a substantial clue for your very eyes. Ask? Don't tell me. Let me see. Humans are sorry creatures, unable to see what is in front of their noses. Let me give you some assistance. Don't look, but observe me very closely. There is one particular feature of my person that has changed. You should notice it in the end, I think. The end? It's staring me in both eyes right from the very beginning of our conversation. I think we might need another clue before we uncover the full answer, Mr. Naruhodo. As for that, I'll be tearing my hair out if this charade goes on much longer. Let's talk about the lie you told. Sholmes, isn't it about time you told us the truth? Just over a week ago, you said to us, I will now tell you something, of first importance. Great detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that. That case aboard the SS Buria in January. Kazuma wasn't killed. You knew he wasn't dead at the time. But what was really going on? The fellow was unconscious for a very long time. If he hadn't regained consciousness, his life would have been in peril. Of course, the side effect of the prolonged comatose state was amnesia. You know. It was a simple enough task to silence the crew. But how? After they'd carried him out of the cabin, they assembled him in the lobby area. Then I made them swear. Leave him unconscious and have him unlaid from the ship in Hong Kong as a murdered corpse. But why? It was necessary to find some material from which to persuade the crew to keep their word, of course. Why? Why do it in the first place? Exactly. I will be at liberty to elaborate in due course. But for the time being, I'd like to reassure you. I didn't foresee subsequent events. His disappearance in Hong Kong. Oh. I believe I may have made a gross error of judgment. Well, you're just gonna stop there? And whatever, on to the next thing. So, what is the Red-Headed League, which seems to be the subject of the advertisement? Sorry, advertisement you've circled. You noticed it in the paper then. That, my dear fellow, was going to be the source of this month's rent payment. Was? How? According to the advertisement, the Red-Headed League is a distinguished institution of fellows of unspecified governance. In fact, the only condition for becoming a member is having red hair. That doesn't entirely surprise me. Listen to what the lucky redheads receive once they join. Unconditional salary of £4 a week. Wait, £4 a week? Why? Why are they paying? What are they paying people for? But I don't know. The details are given in the advertisement. Surely every redheaded person in the country would be flocking to join in that case. You're right, Susie. There's no time to lose. Put in my application at once. So will I. Just the off chance. Stretching a point, I think. Trouble is, I have a fixed number of members, you see. I see, so once a certain number of people can join, no one else can? Wait, is there a pink-headed league, Iris? But as luck would have it, Emma recently passed away. I wasn't particularly lucky for the red-headed question, I feel, Mr. Schultz. You decided to try to join in his place? Correct. I mean, look at me. Have you ever seen such a red-headed fellow? No. But why? Why did it have to go so wrong? What on earth happened? A blunder, Mr. Naruhodo. Though it pains me to admit it. Your blunder. Okay, what happened? What did you actually do to your hair, Mr. Schultz? Glad you asked, Mrs. Sato. You see atop my head is neither dyed nor hairpiece. I changed the color of my hair overnight. By the wonders of chemistry. Chemistry? I was conducting some research on the method of rejuvenating spent tea leaves. And in the course of my work, I stumbled upon a potion intended to turn one's hair a flame like red. Would you like to try it? Make every hair on your body perfectly crimson. I think I'll pass. Mr. Sholmes, is it quite safe to drink? Really, it's bad for you, isn't it? Amateurs are always hampered by such fears. Oh, I should never have doubted you, Mr. Sholmes. You mean to say... But of course. To earn £4 per week, one must be prepared to turn a blind eye to danger. Give red signals more than... So anyway, Willie left full of confidence yesterday with his new red hair. At the park on Lime Street, where the Red-Headed League were interviewing prospective new members. So what went wrong? The whole park was choked with red-headed folk, like a Foster's orange berry. I queued for 8 hours solid before at last I reached the front. When the panel of interviewers saw me, they immediately said, "Ah, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, are you in disguise to conduct an investigation?" So naturally, I had no choice but to reply. Don't give me away. Wish I could do little else but turn and leave. Then this morning, when I looked in the mirror, irritation stirred within me. So I turned that pyre into the police. Damn, disaster. Hurley and those two redheads. So you did it out of spite? Holmes, you are expecting a guest today? Indeed, Mr. Sato, that is correct. Another of those redheaded gentlemen that we were before. Not at all. They were petty villains. The guest I am expecting is a client. Oh. A young gentlewoman who wishes to appoint the services of this great detective, no less. Oh, how wonderful, Mr. Sholmes. We must stay and observe the fashion in which a great detective receives his customers. Must we? I have you in my clutches now, Rent. This is you in my clutches, redheads. Hearty laugh is masking rather sinister thoughts, I feel. You know, Lady isn't due for another hour yet. Don't feel as though you must wait around if you have other things to do. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, let's go to Longhearts. First of November, British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's Office. Here's the final draft of the opening address for tonight's proceedings. I've supplemented your original with the figures you asked for. I see. Excellent work. Thank you. What's Lord Van Zyke's doing here? Hey, there seems to be an awful tension in the air, wouldn't you say? This place is stifling enough as it is. I really don't need...
My apologies. I didn't notice you come in. Small stature and dark dress make you all but invisible to me.
Oh, no, it's entirely my fault for wearing black, I'm sure. From now on, you must dress in white from head to toe whenever you come here.
Now then, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, my lord? I'm right here.
Is something wrong? It's a little too hot in here for...
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, I've never experienced a room with such a perfect temperature.
You're sure? The beads of sweat carving their way down your face seem to suggest otherwise.
So the daggers you're staring at me with.
I show no doubt of where the International Forensic Science Symposium begins tomorrow. In fact, the father arrived on the earlier today, I hear, madam.
Oh, yes, that's right, my lord. He's extremely honored to have been invited.
Only the remaining preparations for the meeting. Capable hands, then, Lord Van Zykes. I will attend at once.
Oh, he gave him a look. He gave a very cold stare as he left, didn't he? I know. I haven't done it.
These past few days, my feet have barely touched the ground, I must say. My dedicated right hand of many years was recently put out of action in spectacular fashion.
I'm sorry to hear that. Your left hand still of service? Your right hand comes off? Naruhodo, he's talking about Dr. Saeed. Of course. I'm terribly sorry about that. I was just,
Oh, fear not. You've done nothing wrong. Besides own wrongdoing precipitated the situation. You needn't concern yourself with it any further.
that would be a lot easier to do if it weren't for the piercing stare you're giving me.
Lord Van Zykes is doing an admirable job of holding the fort. Although disturbingly, his apprentice has been missing since yesterday.
Missing? It's become impossible someone now. Okay, Lord Van Zykes, let's talk. First off, you wanna hear about the redheaded lead? He's probably gonna say his generic thing about time. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Lord Chief Justice, I'm here to offer advice about evidence.
Oh.
Especially when the evidence in question is so dull.
So that's the real reason. What about the armband? Talk about that? Nope. Doesn't work. Strongheart is having none of this.
Get that out of my face.
Let's talk about the Forensic Science Symposium.
Not long ago, visitors numbers. Great exhibition exceeded 30 million.
30 million? Are there even that many people in the world? As a comparison, Mr. Naruhodo, the population of the imperial capital, Tokyo, is 2 million.
We'll be opening the International Forensic Science Symposium in the exhibition's main auditorium. This event has been 2 years in the making. Years of preparations and negotiations with other countries.
Like a tremendous achievement. Congratulations.
The 20th century will see the wholesale adoption of forensics investigation techniques. And cooperation between policing organizations around the globe will be essential. Here's why. This landmark first symposium had to be hosted here, in the heart of our great British Empire. In order that Scotland Yard can become the leading investigation organization in the New World.
It's the same as ever, I see. Passion of his is quite something. You're every bit as passionate in your own way. Sure, Mr. Naruhodo.
I'm the only person in this country who truly cares about a future that embraces forensic science. It is my intention to become Her Majesty's Attorney General and reform the Yard from the ground up. Disgrace of the forensic investigation team has been a bitter blow to my ambitions.
Yeah, about that.
The
Let's talk about that team.
I first established the forensic investigation team a year ago, experimentally to start with. Dr. Side at the helm was steadily accruing an impressive record of achievement. It was on the verge of changing its name and elevating its status to a blue investigation department. And you not do that now?
Obviously, nobody wants to hear anything about it at the moment. Even I can't keep this story out of the papers. 6 million London cursing forensic science now. This incident set back our country's advancement. A good 10 years, I'd say. The intended repercussions of our trial. We simply couldn't have overlooked what had happened, though. Of course not. We'd all be grateful to you both. Anyway, I'll still reform this country's policing when I become Attorney General. It's my delay my plans. What are they going to do? Nothing. Stand in my way. Talk about the missing apprentice. About Lord Van Zyke's apprentice. Oh, yes, that came as a surprise to me, I must say, that you and he are old friends. He became an apprentice to Lord Van Zyke's in the first place. It came about 3 months ago. An unidentified Asian man was apprehended by border police. They found him hiding aboard a large goods vessel. Why? So he stowed away to get here? He had no papers to identify him, no passport, and he was suffering from amnesia, too. With the fact he was clearly of Eastern descent, there were no clues to who he was. We decided he was signed into Lord Van Zyke's. That way I could keep an eye on him. But then, why the mask? I didn't want to burden Lord Van Zyke's with tiresome explanations about why he had an Eastern apprentice, as it would be so much easier to explain why he was wearing it. It was proving to be a great help to Lord Van Zyke's, and hopes for his future. By the way, do you know where he's gone? No idea, but I believe he's left London for the time being. Oh. I take it you also didn't know. The man's father was one of our country's most infamous criminals, I mean. Enshin Asogi. Let's talk about Kazuma's father's crimes. What we learned from that trial 8 days ago was a huge shock. Finding out my friend's father was...
Oh yes, Enshin Asogi. The Professor case 10 years ago caused a great stir here in Britain.
Such awful murders. Unprecedented. Using a ferocious dog as a murder weapon. No one would have believed the culprit was a foreign student invited to study here by the government. Yes, almost like it's unbelievable.
But the tragedy of the killing couldn't be made public then. Can't be made public now. Nobody in your country knows it was him. Neither do the citizens of London.
The main motivation was to avoid aggravating relations between our two nations at the time, I understand.
Correct.
However, it has to be noted that there were some supporters of the Professor's apparent cause. What? Supporters of a mass murderer?
The majority of the man's victims were a blight on the aristocracy of the day.
What, ironically, it does actually benefit the society as a whole.
So a fair few thinkers in London believed anyway.
Right. See, it was still murder, wasn't it? It seems very similar to the idea of the Reaper of the Bailey. I was thinking that. Huh? Oh. We're done talking, I guess. Okay. See you later, Lord Strongheart. Nice to see you again. Go to Naruhodo's legal consultancy? I guess. This is 1st of November. Naruhodo's legal consultancy. Oh, what to do? What do? It's good news, the professor makes wonderful. In fact, your father has been invited to this important international event. It really makes me very proud. daughter. Your father, Judge GOOOOO, us, Cosmo, of course. There's an ever-increasing number of Japanese here in its capital. Yes, I suppose so. London does have a population of 6 million people. I think we're still a minority. Sato-san's father came here visiting students 16 years ago. Cosmo. It's almost as if some great power has been drawing them here across the ocean. I feel as though the waters are starting to smell again. Okay. So, can I present Sato with anything? Hey, we'll look at the armband, Sato? I stayed up late to mend that for you the other day, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you. You did a really seamless job. You're very welcome. It's all in a day's work for your judicial assistant. The only thing is, I mixed it up to Heaven's just now rather smells. Take better care of it, please. Okay, so well, until I ruined it. What about the Red-Headed League article? Red-Headed League? It's not something we could ever aspire to, is it? I'm determined to try. Your hair is completely black. Beautiful black. So you know that in our homeland, this color of hair has traditionally been described as green-black. It sounds a lot like a contradiction if you ask me. Some people clearly see it as green in Japan, even though it's black. In which case, full of hope something similar might happen here in Britain. That level of optimism is something I should learn and listen to. Maybe someday I will be a red-headed woman. Let's see. Steam is rising gently from the kettle as always. Yes, it doesn't feel right somehow. Steam has an unusual scent. Perhaps the sweet potatoes that I brought back from Japan with me are ready. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, I heard that, you know. Here's a joy, Mrs. Sato, from my mouth. Whenever you serve me tea, it always takes me back to Japan. I know you're not particularly fond of the bitter taste, are you? So I always try to pick out less bitter matcha. It does often serve up an unusually mellow blend, it's true. The anticipation of the taste in my mouth makes me bitterly worried anyway. It is very difficult for me. See, I've been keeping my desk beautifully covered in papers as always. I really must tidy it all up, Mr. Naruhodo. No excuses. Mr. Sato, the way I see it, all these papers building up on my desk like this are a reminder of my wonderfully diverse daily life. I like to leave them as they are, so I never forget how lucky I am to have such varied experience. In that case, definitely have a thorough tidy. Then you'll be able to see your papers building up all over again. Feel that joy renewed. And Peter and Mark. Daruma doll? That Daruma doll is still winking at me. I wonder when he'll finally get his other eye full. Yes, I wonder. Well, you should know, Sasato-san. Trust in the task to you. The truth is, I've already decided. What? Oh? When? That's my little secret. Oh, she's got her desk all set up again. That's nice. There's an aquarium. Sea life seemed very content in there, I must say. I noticed something recently. The anemones breed at a most extraordinary rate. Oh, really? It's a mystery. I'm glad the whole seabed isn't buried in a mountain of them. Oh, how splendid! It really is a mystery, isn't it? I wish there was someone here to explain Sasato-san's strange reaction. The room across the hall is undisturbed, of course. I don't suppose I'd be permitted to see inside now that you're back, though, right? You know very well that only Iris is allowed inside. Yes, I heard you two giggling together in there again last night. You visit Mr. Sholmes in his room, Mr. Naruhodo. Last time I did that, he tried to convince me to drink some strange concoction he mixed up. My desk is just as it was before I left. So unassuming ink and a calligraphy brush, even though we're in England. It strikes me as typically you, Mrs. Simon, typically not you at the same time. Well, I do enjoy all the wonderful new things to come out of the West in the Cultural Revolution, of course. But I'm not ready to give up my brush just yet. Anyway, as always, I can write more neatly with a brush than I can with a pen. Practice makes perfect, as they say. Okay. I think we're done here. Maybe we can go talk to Sholmes now? Aha. Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Aha! Here is my guest now, and it is client with money to spend.
Oh, I do hope it's an exciting case, Ernie.
Remember, I'm the spirit present by the greatest problem known to man.
You must be willing to accept any case, no matter how unstimulating. Save, no kidding, a runaway, of course. Spare anyone's feelings, will you? Oh dear, I'm afraid that Ernie can be attacked, especially just before the rent is due. Whack. Oh. Hey, you were, that was the, she was in the jury in the last case.
Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, please, oh please. Please find my husband, he's run away.
And he just said, "You upset me."
Beg your pardon?
Never mind. Personal matter, my apology.
What exactly are you trying to say, Mr. Nutter?
Say a word.
Come, my dear madam, be seated. Iris, some tea, if you please.
Of course. What's the matter, Mrs. Sato? Oh, it's just that gentleman. I feel sure I've seen her somewhere before. Recently. Yes, now you mention it. It's like she was a juror in this case. As I explained earlier, my name is Evie Vigil. Oh, you to take this case, sir. Money is no object, simply name your figure. Money and wealth are of little consequence to me, madam. Being offered a case to solve is reward enough. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you are the picture of benevolence. Wait a minute, you need rep.
I will, of course, make a mental note of your offer. For contingent reasons. First, you will remember the words also.
I might inquire, sir. This gentleman and lady would be... Oh, me? What I'm about to tell you, I should like to communicate in the strictest confidence, if you understand.
Ah, these are my friends. Yes, sure, we may say before this pair anything which you may say to me.
Ah, I see.
You can vouch for the gentleman personally, after all.
He's hard of hearing. I am regain my arms. Okay, I guess we're gonna talk to her. Red-Headed League. Tell us about this. It's Vigil. Casting your eyes over this. Oh my, poor Daly. Where have you gone? What's become of you? I'm afraid she's too worried about her husband not paying any attention, Mr. Naruto. Either that or she just doesn't want to be bothered with. Yeah, what about the armband? No, nothing. So her name is Evie Vigil? Is that kind of like Ever Vigil, I'm assuming? Let's see, where is she? So we got Sato, Herlock, Iris, Eugen, Seishiro, Dino, Mail, Strongheart. I forgot his name is Mail, his first name. Derek, Van Zykes, and Evie Vigil. Let's talk. Mrs. Vigil, Mr. Vigil, and your husband's disappeared. Let's start at the top with Mrs. Vigil. Forgive me for asking, Mrs. Vigil, but have we met before? Quite recently, perhaps? Oh my.
Sure, my dear fellow, what is your intention?
Really, you have no ability to differentiate the facial features of the English.
If you wish to invite the lady to tea, you must do so in a more gentlemanly fashion.
Is it possible? You're the nice young lawyer from the trial I attended last week? I knew I recognized her. one's fate in the palm of one's hand. Oh gosh, oh golly, it sends shivers down my spine. I didn't quite recognize her because she's acting so differently now. It must be very difficult for you as a lawyer, being hard of hearing, I mean. Pardon? Oh dear, I'm so sorry. Don't worry if you can't hear. It's frippery, really, and nothing more. Oh, you started, Mr. Sholmes. Thank you very much. I believe it would be prudent if you would sit quietly in the corner. Yes. Talk to me about Mr. Vigil. Tell us about your husband, madam. Mr. Vigil, my daily, is 40 years of age. I have a photograph here. An entirely unremarkable gentleman, by appearance at least. It's a black and white picture, he's got red hair. How long have you been married? It will be 15 years this year. We have a cordial relationship, and my husband's income is more than adequate, so we live quite comfortably. It would appear. You don't look too cute to know these things. Oh gosh! Your dress is the latest style, your hair clearly regularly groomed, and your eyes are animated. In short, you have no inkling as to why your husband might have disappeared. Correct. That's right. He's a kind man with a strong sense of loyalty. He rather dotes on me. Which would point to the possibility that he has become embroiled in some incident or another. Oh, that's exactly what I fear must have happened, Mr. Sholmes. I'm quite beside myself. My husband's employment is somewhat unusual, see? What if he's incurred some miscreant's ill will? What exactly is your husband's line of work? He's a warder at the prison. Guard. This is somewhat unusual.
Prison warder.
So, what is a prison warder? That's right, yes. Well, in actual fact, he's the chief warder.
Indeed. I see.
Well, chief prison warder certainly qualifies as something of a specialist occupation. Yes, it does indeed. My poor husband must prepare those dreadful punishments and see they're carried out. Punishments? Do you mean capital punishments? And at such times, he must occasionally spend a night or two in the prison dormitory. That extra responsibility is diminished more handsomely than other warders. Of course, we make no mention of my husband's work to the neighbors.
Yes, I believe your prudence is justified. Tell me, at what prison is your husband engaged?
Berkeley Prison, Mr. Sholmes.
Really? Berkeley? Oh, a fine establishment. If I'm not mistaken, there is a large cemetery just behind it.
Yes, that's correct. Lowgate Cemetery. Lowgate Cemetery. Isn't that where the professor was at? No. Lowgate Cemetery. The very place we were discussing in court. Ah, I knew it. That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable, my dear fellow.
Yet sorry, Jones. Afraid you've lost me.
Ah, pay no heed, madam. Pay no heed. Private matter.
This can't really be coincidence, can it?
Yeah, talk about your husband's disappearance now. So, does it matter if your husband's disappearance? When did you realize he was missing?
Please try not to laugh. It was yesterday.
I'm sorry. Yesterday?
It is recent. Truth is, my husband does at times have occasion to spend the night away from his work. Not at all out of the ordinary for him to return home at night, but this is different. For him not to make any contact for a whole day. It's certainly never happened before. Oh, my dear Daly, whatever could have happened?
My dear Miss Vigil, please,
now then, you contacted the police. Why, naturally. But sadly, they refused to listen to my pleas as my husband has only been missing for one day. I was asked to wait patiently at home.
Truth, Miss Vigil, I concur with the police. However, let's not be hasty. I see no reason why we should not engage my deductive powers
track your husband down anyway. Oh, thank you, Mr. Furthermore, let me assure you, the chance to solve the greatest problem known to man for another month has no bearing on my decision. Of course not. I seek only to put a sweet smile on another London's face. Really, all there is to it. You have my eternal gratitude. I shall pay any sum you care to mention. Seek only to put this sweet's rent in the landlady's purse. That's all there is to it. We got your information. Thank you for everything you have shared with us, Miss Vigil. I believe I have all the information I need to begin my investigation. Oh, please report to me soon with good news, sir. You're not. In a day or two, contact me. Oddly report, I'm quite sure. Oh, soon? Oh, how splendid, Mr. Sholmes. Good news should be delivered early, I always say. If you would be so kind as to leave the photograph of your husband in my possession. The photograph of Mr. Vigil has been entered in the court record. Thank you. Now, allow me to show you the door. I can't thank you enough, Mr. Sholmes. You've been simply marvelous. Every time, Curly. How do you come out with such nonsense? Good news in a day or two? Are you sure? I can't be sure, of course. I didn't swear on it. I merely gave the good woman some hope. I hope be able to give her the good news, one might say. After all, the rent must be paid by the end of day tomorrow. That by the time I've successfully located Mr. Vigil, will be mutually relieved. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Look at me with those pleading eyes. Well, my dear fellow, did you hear the details of the case? Yes, my hearing is surprisingly good, actually. Excellent. And what did you make of it? Well, surprised to learn where her husband worked, at Barclay Prison, I mean. Ah, so you noted that. Of course, especially with the mention Lowgate Cemetery. Lowgate Cemetery is at the rear of Barclay Prison, so it was renowned among our students at the university for being haunted by the ghosts of condemned convicts. Barclay Prison is where that notorious man was incarcerated. Professor. Now the prison has mysteriously disappeared, it would seem. All very peculiar. Indeed, but nothing you can't handle, I'm quite certain, Mr. Sorry? Run along to the prison and see what you can glean. Would you? It's the prison governor. No doubt the man is equally well. Aren't you going to go yourself? Surely you needn't ask. Can't possibly be seen out with his hair. You go to Lime Street with that hair? That was a quite different matter. But I leave it in your capable hands. Now, excuse me, I'm rather busy. Thanks, Sholmes. See ya. Okay. I guess we're out of here. New location has been added. The prison governor's office. Barclay Prison is on the outskirts of London, looking onto a lone burial ground. Its four-high outer wall loomed quietly before us in the fog. Having requested a meeting, we were shown to the governor's office in the watchtower. 1st of November, Barclay Prison, governor's office. I am going to take a very quick. We'll talk to the I am back. Let us continue. The place is full of hardened criminals. I cannot remember the last time a civilian was down here. You know what? Mate. Hey. That guy's... You can know who I am. I'm the governor, Barry Kaiden. Hmm? Yes, it's a pleasure. Ernest Naruhodo, defense lawyer. An Easterner, I see. Does that mean... Yes, I'm a visiting student of law from the Empire of Japan. Japan? Did you say Japan? Yes. Well, there's not any of your kind in here, laddie. We should try the prison next door, eh? Notice near the next door, sir. Anyway, I came to ask you some questions about... I didn't like to be so direct, but... No intention of speaking with the likes of you, suspicious-looking Easterners. Get out of my hair. As soon as he finds out that we're... acts like this, it really means... It's because of the professor case. I think so too. I like the guillotine back there, I just... And then he has a stool pigeon, of course. 10 years ago, Genshin Hisogi, also known as the Professor, was incarcerated in this prison. Then, after his execution, he apparently re-emerged from his grave in the cemetery behind the prison. I know. You're sniffing around that place, aren't you? Agent say, part of the Professor's great win. No, not at all. Just get go with you, or I punch your lights out. We're going. Clearly the ghost of that killer still haunts this place. And it get anywhere here, unless we can somehow prove to this man that there's nothing suspicious in this. Aiden. I'm sure that name came up in conversation recently somewhere. Wondering if whoever mentioned him might have some ideas to help us. I have the same feeling. Judge. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's go back to the Great Waterloo Hotel. There's Professor Mikitoba. Is the judge down here? No, he's... Well, let's talk to Mikitoba. That's Professor Mikitoba over there. Ah, hello you two. I was just taking a moment to catch up on the world now that I'm unpacked. Where's Judge Chikobu? Yes, he's not the relaxing sort. He's taking himself off to pay his respects to all the legal bigwigs. Vigoli just arrived in the country today? Goodness, he is full of energy. Professor, you mentioned something before about how you'd known the prison governor at Barclay Prison. Oh, Governor Kaiden, you mean? What is the same? Father, you must speak with the governor. He refused to talk with us. He said we were suspicious Easterners. Well, I'm sure if I accompanied you, it would be a very different story. Would you? It would be wonderful. I have time now. Sadly, as you can see, I'm very busy at the moment. You drinking coffee on a comfortable settee? No, I have rather a lot to prepare for tomorrow, you know? Oh, sorry. I didn't say that out loud, did I? You Mikitobas are alarmingly good at reading people's thoughts. Or could it be that you Naruhodos are alarmingly bad at hiding your thoughts? Let's not fall out now. I have an idea. What's he writing on that piece of paper? Here's a letter of introduction. Hopefully, when he sees my name, he'll change his tune. Thank you. Letter of introduction has been entered into the court record. Note of introduction on our behalf. Professor Mikitoba to Governor Kaiden. Hopefully now. Good luck, then. head back to the governor's office, shall we? Presente. Nothing important with the photograph of Mr. Vigil. Here we go. Check this out. You just cast your eyes over this guy, okay? What's this then? Can I put a wool over my eyes? You good-for-nothing Japanese student. Ikitoba. That young jock from Forensics Laboratory. That Mikitoba. Yes, exactly, him. Perhaps I should have said something sooner. I'm Yujin Mikitoba's daughter, Susato. Jinx! You're the young man's daughter! You didn't think to mention that before. I do apologize. Aye, well, you'd best take a seat then. Can I offer you a cup of tea, perhaps? Gonna forget to try one of these wee handcuff biscuits. Nothing short of amazing. Bitterly regretting not announcing who I was from the outset now. So then, what can I do for you, Anne? Currently investigating a case. It's one of your warders, you see. He's gone missing. Missing? That's right. It's surely been reported to you as well, being the prison governor. I have not heard nothing of the sort. There's no missing persons in my prison. Oh, what can that be? Mr. Daily Vigil, Chief Warder. Hey, Vigil? That's right, his wife came to us and asked us to investigate his disappearance. Skip the part about missing yesterday. Surely that means something. You'd be so kind as to tell us what you know, sir? Of course. Look at the photograph. Governor Caden, have a look at this. But you'd rather have a wee handcuff biscuit. No thanks, I'd rather you just cast your eyes over this. Or maybe you prefer real handcuffs, No, neither for me, please. Lovely offers, though. What is there anything... Wait a minute, Blackbird? Looks like this is some sort of steamship ticket. It says Rouse, First Class Cabin 001. The Bahama departure, 11 September. Arrival 1st of November. Ah, that's the boat that Professor Mikitoba and Judge Jikoku came on in, isn't it? Yes, I think it called it Dunkirk or the northeast of France for a night before arriving in Dover. It's been since we are... Yes, it's true. It's a shame not to have your ticket as a photo of your trip, don't you? Yes, I agree. I have mine safely in my diary. I keep mine in my diary, so I have it with me at all times. Strange. Where did it go? Do you like this on purpose, Mr. Is that... Alright. Cool, that's good. It updated it. I thought that would be something. What does this say? Professor Mikitoba has wonderful handwriting, doesn't he? This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy. It's me, or does that make me sound extremely I do wish he'd at least called you a nice young man. I'm really not sure that would. Okay, let's talk to you now. Chief Warder Vigil. I understand that Mr. Vigil is the chief warder here at the prison. Aye, was. Own sense of responsibility and dedicated to the job, no doubt about it. He was a fine warder. Sorry, did you say was? Aye, he doesn't work here no more. He left the job. Oh my. When was this exactly? There's a question. It was, cannot have been much less than years ago. What? Plot is thick and very hard. 10 years ago? You stopped working here 10 years ago? Aye, I mind it. You can't. I haven't heard the fellow's name in all that time. So, sorry if he's gone missing, though. Mrs. Vigil made no mention of it. I think perhaps Mr. Naruto, that his wife simply doesn't know. I think she's unaware that he no longer works here. Commander Caden, can you tell us what happened? Why did Mr. Vigil give up his job here? That's important, is it? Yes, I believe it may be. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruto? Can't help wondering, given that it was 10 years ago. Which was exactly what it was being held. Yeah, let's talk about it. So Mr. Vigil actually resigned from the position of Chief Warder 10 years ago, you're telling us? What happened to make him leave the job? Actual fact, didn't I leave the job willingly? I had no choice in the matter. I mean, he was dismissed. Was after a particular... Sorry? I saw a reward for it in here. Walk to the gallows. Execution. Oh. It was the professor didn't actually die, right? It's the job of the chief warder, or the gallows tree. See an execution, just like. Vigil did something unthinkable that last fall he was planning. What did he do? I'm sorry, but when I reveal that information. But I can tell you this very rare for a chief warder to be relieved of his post. I wouldn't miss Mrs. Vigil. She appears to be under the impression that her husband still works here. I wouldn't can anything about that, afraid. Can you perhaps answer one more question about the circumstances of his dismissal? And what will that be, eh? This execution Mr. Vigil was responsible for overseeing. Was it by any chance the professor's? Well, it's exactly. Oh boy. Sorry, William. Liberty to answer that. See. Let's talk about Professor Mikitoba. My father came to Britain all those years ago in order to study forensic medicine, but he seemed to have been well acquainted. The dead room, prison, and the cemetery have a lot to do with one another. After all, they need fresh corpses for forensic research. Get yes, I can. The advancement of medical science is not particularly palatable. Your father worked in the laboratory just on the far side of the graveyard, in the basement at St. Sinners. Still in use today. St. Sinners, that's come up before, I'm sure. That's the lab where Dr. Syed was at, I think. Yes, that's right. Been there. Nikitoba and I used to ride in a carriage together and negotiate terms for more fresh material. We used to sit in here for hours and gab on about dissection and all sorts. Oh, it takes me back. Over a party and a plate of coffee biscuits, of course. Charming. He was valuable and dead set on his work. But I'm afraid... Stand, Japanese. So, I suppose... Well... I'll not tell you anything else. Thank you so much for your time, Governor. Oh, one moment before you're away, and... I'm sure I have it somewhere. Ah, found it. Here, take this as a wee souvenir of your visit. That's it. That's Vigil's dismissal notice. 7 years old now. Are you sure? Aye, there's no trouble at all. There's no the original mind. Dismissal notice has been The harsh reprimand incurred by Mr. Vigil 10 years ago resulted in losing his job. Thank you very much, Governor Caden. Well, in return... if I ever come back here, case is closed. No? I think we ought to return to Baker Street for the time being. Yes, I agree. We need to report back to Mr. Jones and found out about Mr. Vigil. What are you telling Mr. Vigil, I wonder? Yeah, exactly. Can we look at some stuff in here? This is kind of a cool area. Let's see. Let's look at... Ah, look. We have an opportunity here now. The governor is away. So Naruto, you'd be imprisoned if you were caught. Good point. Perhaps not. But we can't look at any of this. So what that implies is we're going to come back here. Let's go back to Sholmes. 1st of November, Sholmes' suite. We're back. Hello, you two. Oh wait, sorry, wrong list. I thought you'd be back before long, so I baked some scones for us all. Oh, that's what the delicious smell is. Greetings, my dear. Blue. Hair is blue now. Returned a good deal sooner than I was anticipating. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Hello, Mr. Say nothing. The ribbon all over your faces indicates. It turns out that it may have been advisable to test my hair color restoration before application. Oh my. Pray, tell me, what of our warder friend? Have you garnered some new information? Yes, something very surprising, in fact. Well, it's not a patch on your hair, to be honest. It certainly isn't, but still, we discovered that. Sholmes! Drop everything, Sholmes. This is more important. Gina? Adam, my feet. Oh. What's happened? Really a very grave matter indeed. It's Lestrade, mention of my hair whatsoever. It's the boss. What do you mean, Inspector Gregson? The boss is... He's dead. What? They just found his body. Shot with a pistol. What? But... Inspector Gregson? He was murdered? Oh my gosh, Gregson, no. Not Gregson. Oh my dear girl, tell us the whole story. I'm not gonna get out of here. It's fine. Inspector's death. Are you serious, Gina? Inspector Gregson was really shot? I don't know much about it myself yet. I'm still here, investigating the scene. Where did this take place? We rented room in the building for Fresno Street. The outskirts of town. Nowhere near his home. He was perhaps investigating a case there. Thing is, no one in the yard knows nothing about no case around him. Strange. He was so good to me. Line up to my ship. Today I was gonna show him I'd become a proper detective. Ginny. Now let's talk about this. So who did this? Do you have an idea who the culprit is? Already? They caught the shooter so soon? Wait, is there always something's going on? Always going straight down there. What awful person did this? I still can't believe it myself. Gina? It was the Reaper. Van Zykes? Oh my gosh, is he gonna be our client? Wait a minute, you don't need... They've arrested Lord Van Zykes for it? That's right! That Reaper bloke's gone... I shot the boss! No. Van Zykes. Let's talk about this. We're quite sure, Mr. Strahd. It's Barak Van Zykes the police have arrested. I saw him with my own eyes. The interview room at the yard. I can't believe it. But there were witnesses. They all saying it was him. So you mean there were actually multiple witnesses? The gun shot, apparently. No, not to the scene. It's only the boss. That Reaper bloke in the room. But there's no way Lord Van Zykes would have taken Grigson's life. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it either. Thank you for informing us, Mr. Strahd. This really is most terrible news. I'm dreadfully sorry. What are you saying sorry for? You didn't do nothing. Well, anyway, I'm taking a cab over to the scene right now. Please come out as soon as you can. You've got my help. It's a detective's law to appear wherever some sinister plot is unfolded. Sometimes these things are... Mr. Sholmes. What use is there in being a great detective if I fail to see something like this coming? How could I let this happen to Gregson? Gregson. So now to hurry. I shall leave at once to begin my investigations. Of course, yes, we will too. It would be helpful if you could talk to Mr. Reaper and see what you can help me in. I'm sure you were intending to do so anyway. Till later, then. Inspector Greg's dead. Lord Van Zykes arrested. Bruno, Susie, hold your hands. It's waiting outside. Thanks, Iris. Shall we, Mr. Sato? Yes. Alright, well, let's get out of here. Bye-bye. The location has been added. Prison. First November, local prison, cell 1. Yes, Van Zykes behind bars. It's true, he really was arrested. He's sitting with his back. Lord Van Zykes. Can't see anything new here. The last place on Earth had to be the last person on Earth I'd like to see. Couldn't very well not come. Heard what happened. That Inspector Gregson was... Go. This has nothing to do with you. But... Forgive me, Lord Van Zykes, but I must disagree. Inspector Gregson was very helpful to us on a number of occasions. We're indebted to him. Or at very least, we owe it to him to find out the truth about his death. You must help us with our investigations, please. There's really nothing I can tell you. What were you just reading at the back of the cell there? Something related to the case? This... Beyond isn't quite so cavalier with his information as to share case details with the suspect. This is... Who might that be? Someone you know. Albert Hebrand. Of course, yes. Getting big. The same. I would like to read my correspondence in peace. So let's get this over with, shall we? Is it you want? Zykes never misses his words. Seem to spite them somehow. Can I show you my armband? I think you know that this is worn by people in my country to show that they're defense lawyers, don't you? And I think you know that I believe that you will be merely playing at lawyer parliament initially. Same, your armband may actually imply some dormant talent after all. Depends, Ice. Do you mean... Let's hope you wake up soon. So it's really daydream. It's thought kind of complicated. Talk about what happened. Can you at least tell us your side of the story, Lord Van Zykes? What happened? How much do you already know? I know that the inspector was shot dead in a small, rented room on Fresno Street. You were found there by the police when they arrived on the scene and immediately arrested. You were told that there was nobody else in the room. Some witnesses heard the gunshot. Then you're well informed. There's really nothing I can add. Truth is, I don't know what happened to myself. But the gunshot? Obviously you didn't fire the gun, did you? I'm not in the habit of shooting the people I work with. I also heard the noise. Well, if I had a chance to investigate, I was apprehended by the arriving officers. So he doesn't actually know what happened. I might ask, what are you doing in that place to begin with? I don't need to answer that. Oh. After all, you're not representing me. He is gonna need a lawyer. Yeah, let's talk about your defense. That's kind of an important element. Who is gonna be representing you in court, Lord Van? Anyone other than you. Huh. Can I be right in assuming you have no representation as yet? Defense lawyers shy away from any trial involving the Reaper, as I'm sure you know. This is different. In my career, the defendants I've prosecuted, only 19 have ever been acquitted. Of them, 16 subsequently died in mysterious circumstances. Questions will be asked. Surely not. I assure you, no defense lawyer will want to touch me at the end of a barge pole. You didn't actually have anything to do with those people in the past, did you? It's been 10 years now. I've been known as the Reaper of the Bay. Believe me, nobody knows the true identity of this killer more than I. However, it seems things may come to a head before I have the chance to uncover the truth. What do you mean by that? So, let's talk about Professor Hairbrain's letter. After the trial, Professor Hairbrain was supposed to go straight back to Germany. It's a letter to inform me of the safe arrival. I arranged his passage by sea and rail. It's a relief, I must say. I should now be beyond the reaches of the Reaper. Because the Reaper doesn't follow people abroad, you mean? Yes, so it seems. Your stooped little Nipponese friend, for example. He told me he was keeping well in Japan when I inquired the other day. Yes, that's right. He's an author now, happily working in Tokyo. So Professor Hairbrain is safely back in Germany now. He is. So, it appears our conversation has run dry. There was a 2-second silence, that's all. Well, in any event, if you'll excuse me now, I wouldn't like to I was wondering, like, I'd be happy to advocate. Hmm? You trust me? Yes. I've heard you speak many times in court, seen how you treat me. So I'm quite sure never have taken it. It's just feelings can't be used as evidence in a court of law, sadly. It is a very gracious offer. However, I trust no one. What? Not the police, not the judiciary, and not you Nepalese. Please. I have no intention of engaging the services. As of between us is just too wide and too deep, it seems. Appreciate it. So again. Neither of us will waste any more. Perhaps we need to go deeper. Find out more about Lord Van Zykes and happen to Inspector Wilson. Yep. We go to this the Fresno Street room. Here we go. Uh, 1st of November, room on Fresno Street. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm getting kind of suspicious here. We have not seen Gregson's body. We have not seen Gregson's body. So is he really dead? You know the rules. You don't see the body, they're not actually dead. Right? Alright, this really is an out-of-the-way part of London. That many people. This dust-ridden, rented old room is where it happened, then. So this is where poor Inspector Gregson lost his life. Yes, and the police are already hard at work investigating, it seems. I don't see Mr. Sholmes anywhere. Perhaps his investigation is taking him elsewhere. Boy, what do you think you're doing there? One of them drawers has got to be taken right out so you can look underneath it all. You want the space above this ceiling checked, and don't forget to look inside the chimney stack too. Blimey, ain't you lot ever gone over a house looking for dough when the owners are at home? It's obviously got some unique investigative techniques she wants everyone to adopt. So you turned up at last. Mind you, I ain't been there long myself. Hello again, Lena. Sholmes is only just left. You're lucky you missed that. They went prancing around in here, pointing stuff and frickin' at this, and then just scarpered. Oh, he's finished investigating already, you mean? Yeah. Hey, you stopped to say nothing in that one. Not even me. Gina, would you mind if we investigated too? Listen, you're a lawyer, right? Yes? Why? Trying to help that Reaper bloke, are you? Well, you know, what you're saying. Lord Van Zykes really is responsible for this crime. He will be duly judged in. I suppose you're wrong. Go on then, Otto. Get investigating. I want to know the truth about what really happened here. Thank you, Gina. Alright. So, let's see what we can find out, shall we? Talk to Gina first. Let's talk about that. Inspector Gregson. Gina, what was Inspector Gregson doing here in the first place? So I want to know. Just what? For years since I got out of the clink? That's when I decided to give up and dive into the detective instead. Oh yes, Mr. Sholmes twisted the inspector's arm to agree to take you on as an apprentice, didn't he? Somewhat like that, I think. Anyway, the point is, I didn't really know much about the boss till then. Turns out, he's a bit of a legend in the yard. Goodness, really? They say he managed to solve some really tricky case, just like that. He did? Yup. Ever since then, he started going out on all sorts of investigations, but always on his own. No one else at the yard even knows what half the cases he's working on are, apparently. That's not how it's supposed to work, is it? So what was the legendary inspector doing in a dingy little room like this? Oh no, he had a lot of respect for the Reaper. Look where that landed him. Respect for the Reaper? No way. I didn't say as much. I'll take my after that for his words. How the general public feels is that they're terrified of it. Yeah, they both say that sixthly why he respected the bloke. I didn't realize Gregson held the Reaper with such high regard. He says something else to me, you know. I didn't need to worry about the Reaper, because he only goes after people who are quiet. It did kind of set my mind at ease when he said that. Let's talk about the crime scene. What is this place then? Does anyone live here? Apparently it's been written by some cult called Hugh Boone. Hugh Boone? It's a sort of here today, gone tomorrow name, that isn't it? Yeah, he's what we call an unidentified person. Can we go in touch with him? I see. Well, judging from appearances, I'd have to say this place hasn't been lived in for a long time, if ever. Right! All the lads from the yard crawled down to get stuck into the investigation. There's so little here, no one knows what to do with themselves. I do wonder, yes, Mrs. Slaughter? Well, could it be that this Hugh Boone is in fact Inspector Gregson himself? What? How could that be? If he was investigating on his own, it's quite possible that this was in fact some kind of secret office of his. I never even considered that. Nice work, sirs! We're actually following the line of inquiry looked at ourselves. You are? If you look around the room, you'll see a few things that hint at you. You should really investigate this place in detail. Incident. Let's talk about that. I see that's where the poor inspector was found, over there. Wait, I see a red-headed wig. Yeah, that's right. You said to see the bullet wig in me. Apparently the bullet went wrong clear in. Struck the candle through. Yes, one of the candles is part of the bullet. The gun used is there on the floor. It's the Reaper's in it. What, really? You know that? Take it easy. I don't know what you do with myself when you stare at me with them big wide eyes. I'm always saying what I've heard. I don't know much about guns myself. There's some big wig lawman or whatever he said so. Won't you ask him? Big wig lawman, is it? Anyway, Fresno Street runs along that window there. There were some street sellers just outside who heard the gunshot. But I don't recall seeing anybody outside. Hey, they've all been taken down the yard for questioning, that's why. We're talking about the yard's legendary inspector here, after all. We're getting a grilling. Do you think we might be able to speak with the street sellers ourselves? Watch out, the lads at the yard will just want to know what you stupid boy y'all grilling in. So we can't interview the witnesses then. Shame. Alright. All time to go be looking around the room then. What is this? This looks like some sort of newspaper. It's absolutely covered in scraps of paper. Gregson have a conspiracy with him? Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, look. It's an autopsy report, isn't it? These are case notes here, in details of prison inmates. Yes, in fact, there are some sort of documents that only a detective could acquire. What on earth went on in this room? Some old newspaper cuttings. Ah, this one here. Oh yes, the advertisement. For the Red-Headed League? But why? What's that doing here? Whoever occupied this room was clearly interested in it for some reason. Okay. What's this? Oh, it's a photograph stand. I suppose it must be a picture of one of Inspector Gregson's family members. Ah. What's the matter? Your eyes look like they're about to pop out of your head. They are, look! Mr. Naruhodo, quickly! Why do I feel like this woman is familiar? Of course she's familiar. We only met her this morning. Ah, it's Mrs. Vigil. This makes no sense. Why would there be a picture of Mrs. Vigil in here? Vigil. To be frank, I don't think I've ever been more stumped. Sorry to say, I have no idea either. Framed photograph is... Huh. Weird. Weird. Well, those two cases are now tied together. Sholmes has already seen this, so I'm interested in where he's going to take this. Empty fireplace makes the room feel even colder than it would be otherwise, doesn't it? It's thick with dust, look. I think it would be fair to say it hasn't been used in a very long time. In other words, whoever lived in this room must have been extremely hardy in cold weather. Or nobody lived here at all. Merely visited, the occasional rose. I wouldn't like to say which is more likely. No, that's right. It's one or the other. So we already did that. As a policeman. Excuse me. Oh, Inspector. Sir? Poor man. Can't possibly be able to focus on investigating when he's so upset. This guy gonna say the same. Excuse me. Sorry, sir. I saw your thing, sir. Too many tears, sir. Perhaps I'd better leave you. Maybe Gregson actually is dead. I don't know. Excuse me. You're looking down on us right beyond, Inspector. Don't worry. We'll look after things at the yard. I've interrupted some deep ones there. Is that like a toy there too? I'll have to look here. What is going on? So, let's see. Oh, what's this? It would appear to be a little model policeman. It's rather charming, isn't it? In a way. But seeing as it's on the floor here, do you think it belonged to Inspector Gregson? It's a little hard to imagine Lord Van Zykes playing with something like this. It's only about 8 centimeters tall. Could have fallen out of someone's pocket, I suppose. I think we should report it as evidence. Yes, I agree. It is rather delightful after all. In a way. The policeman figurine has been entered into the court record. Okay, picture doesn't actually do this thing. What about this thing? Suspicious of it. Highly suspicious of it. Something's going on here. Let's look at the head. The tone of this charming policeman appears to be a little worse for wear. I'm not convinced about the charming. Yes, you're right. The head part looks like it's been almost as if somebody has enjoyed twisting it around and around. It's twisting it around and around too. We're fine. Ah, what's that? It appears to be some sort of key. It's tiny. It couldn't be a key for a door. Not at that size. So what is it for? Alright, giving it a twist causes a key-like shaft. Look at the key. It's like some sort of key. Yes, it does. Very tiny and simple key. It's only the key to inside the figurine of a policeman in the first place. What's it for? Good questions, all. Questions. Let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot to read this. The notice of dismissal. Chief Warder Daily Vigil was relieved of his post with immediate effect for having violated Clause 132 of Her Majesty's Code of Conduct for Prisons. What Clause 132 is. All rights to redundancy, pay, and other financial benefits are fully revoked. Reason for dismissal. Oh, aiding and abetting the escape from this prison of convict blah. just prior to his execution. Details of this escape are still being investigated. Full cooperation with inquiries will be expected. Really? So he helped the professor try to escape. Okay, this is just pure speculation, but I'm wondering if it was Kazuma's father, Genshin, who was innocent, and this guy knew about it, and so he was helping him escape because he was innocent, because he was the guy taking him to be executed. I'm wondering if that's what happened, but we'll see. Additional notes. Indications that the jailbreak plot was conceived prior to the convict's incarceration. It is believed that the convict negotiated in some sort of negotiation. Prison staff in order to secure assistance. Full disclosure of information regarding these negotiations will be demanded. Okay, so there was a plan for him to escape. You know, that coupled with the whole, like, emerging from the grave thing and getting shot, this is getting all sorts of interesting. Anyway, let's look at this gun. This is presumably the murder weapon then. Oh my. It's real, I suppose. I think so. I'm just so rare in Japan, I really know very little about it. I just wanted to know for sure, Mr. Naruhodo. Fire a shot. No. If I did that, I'd be looking for a skilled lawyer to represent me in court. It'd be safer just to ask someone who I might know. The lawyer's revolver has been entered into the court record. Okay. Alright, now let's look at the outline. So I suppose this is where the victim... That's right, the rope is laid around the body to show exactly how it was found. Prince Inspector Gregson himself has already been taken away. Probably the injured Dr. Side's scalpel by now, if not what happened last week. The shape of the robe would appear that the inspector was curled up in a ball. You feeling alright, Mr. Naruto? You look like you've just seen a ghost. I know it's just a rope, but, well, it conjures up quite a terrifying image, that's all. Especially with that bloodstain next to it. Oh, I do understand. In some ways, what we picture in our minds can be even worse than reality. Sato-san is so strong, though. He's taking it as far better than I am. Ever since we came in here, I can't take my eyes off this thing. Oh, funnily enough, neither can I. It's a hairpiece, isn't it? It is. A bright red hairpiece. I suppose the fact that it's right there next to where the body was found means we have to accept that Inspector Gregson wore wigs, doesn't he? And it's such a flame-colored red, too. Yes, that's a color we've come across very recently elsewhere, isn't it? Exactly. This is a vital clue. I'm sure of it. Red hairpiece. Okay. Maybe it belonged to Gregson, maybe it didn't. We'll have to find out. Boarded up windows. Somebody's very haphazardly nailed those boards over the broken glass, haven't they? Couldn't even really call it a window anymore. Now, remember the window in Mr. Natsume's room, totally blocked up with bricks. This one does at least still let in some light, as you could say nothing more about it. I'm starting to feel even sorry for Mr. Natsume. Let's see. The top of one of the candles in this candle was blown off. Yes, there's wax spattered on the wall behind, look. I suppose if the bullet had hit it, it does seem likely that the bullet hit the candle, having first passed through the inspector's body. Ugh, now that wax on the wall looks like blood to me. The candelabrum has... Okay. Got a lot of stuff to it. Alright. Gina's gone? Oh no, there she is. We can show Gina. She would probably know about guns, but let's look at this first. There's some black marks here. Look. Yes, they look like some sort of scorch marks. Perhaps the bullet struck the candle here, do you think? It's only this one candle that's been cracked in half, it seems. Yes, I think you might be right. Firearms are rarely used by criminals in Japan. I'm afraid I'm not particularly knowledgeable about them. Is that it? Yeah, I think it is. Okay. The hairpiece. Ah, what's this? I've always wondered what the underside of a hairpiece looks like. That doesn't surprise me at all, Mr. Naruto. You always want to see what lies beneath, don't you? I'm not sure that's quite how I put it. You must have to use lots of bird lime to keep it in place on your head. It doesn't get blown off by a gust of wind, I mean. It might be a little convenient. Take it off again, don't you? Revolver. Let's see, what can we glean from this? I suppose this must have been a harder weapon. Oh, it is real, I suppose. I think so. Guns are so rare in Japan, I really know very little about them. Perhaps someone more familiar with firearms could shed a light on these here. Okay, well, let's talk to Gina then. Gina. What do you make of this? What's that? Evidence? You worked something out about what happened, have you? No, not exactly. I ain't been long enough in the job to get all this deducting business yet. I swear I'm gonna get the person who did this to the boss. Who would know about it? About this? Anything here? She doesn't have any reaction to that. Candle. Reaction to this? Nope. No reaction to that. But an armband. This armband is proof, in Japan at least, that I'm a defense lawyer. And this badge is proof that I'm a detective. So you're all gonna have to start calling me Inspector Lestrade. In that case, you'll have to start calling me... well, anything but Otto. Oh, you defended our Otto if you like. You can't really trip off the tongue. No, it doesn't have a great ring to it. Okay, I think we're done here. So... who would know about firearms? Maybe somebody here? Thing going on here? No, I don't think so. What about the prison? No? Let's go to the actual prison. Maybe we could... Van Zykes isn't going to talk to us. Naruhodo's leak. This is sweet. Is Iris here? Hey Iris, do you know anything about guns? She is not here. Okay. Lord Strongheart, do you know about guns? Oh my gosh, we're getting an update. 1st of November. British Supreme Court. Lord Chief Justice's Officer.
You've made good time.
Took an express train back to London. Ooh, what's that? Hey, Lord Strongheart, can you? Yes, it sounds as though he's talking to someone. Oh!
Is everything in place?
I had a private compartment. Check all the... Kazuma-sama.
Ah, your timing is impeccable.
It is?
No doubt you have heard sickening news about the Reaper's latest devilry.
Yes. I'm sure you don't believe it, of course, though, Lord Strongheart. That Lord Van Zykes could have done such a thing to Inspector Gregson.
Oh, I believe only in the facts. And the facts in this case point to one thing. The unavoidable accuser, Lord Van Zykes, for this crime. He's been charges against the Reaper to the life of a detective.
No, Surely not.
It's a truly regrettable situation. Tomorrow, the forensic science symposium finally begins. At the very least, though, we can show the world our justice system's swift and equitable processes.
Does that mean the trial is tomorrow?
Precisely. This is a fine introduction. But of course, you're already acquainted, aren't you? Mr. Asogi here will be present at tomorrow's proceedings, leading the prosecution.
Wait! What? Kazuma?
As I'm sure you're aware, he's a very capable practitioner of law.
Kazuma, some prosecutor? Yeah, this is, what a twist, huh? Hey, well, let's talk first. Tomorrow's trial.
I'm sure you can imagine that tomorrow's trial will be closely followed all over London. In fact, no. People all over the Empire will be watching closely to see how it unfolds.
There's no salvation for anyone in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper of Bailey. Now, the Reaper himself will stand in the dock.
Quite so. Public wants answers about the Reaper. Answers about how and why those who escaped conviction subsequently died mysterious deaths.
Lord Van Sykes firmly denies any involvement in such matters. There have been thorough investigations that have proven him to be innocent.
It's certainly true. Well, it has been, at least until now. Now, tomorrow's trial will mark the start of a new chapter in our country's great judicial history.
So, isn't it we're prosecuting tomorrow?
That's right.
But he's a defense lawyer, Lord Strongheart.
Accomplished young law practitioners cannot pick and choose their roles. And imagine what we need with the prosecution and strategies commonly employed by the defense. Devastating combination. Wouldn't you agree?
No doubt at all that Cosmo razor sharp is by Cosmo-sama, there are surely many other highly skilled prosecutors in Great Britain.
It was a personal request. I asked to be assigned to the trial.
Last for this? Why?
It's all become clear. It will all become clear tomorrow. Guessing you intend to stand for the defense, don't you?
Cooper appears to be turning down all offers of representation. I'm surprised such a personal request would have been upheld. It seems unprecedented. Great exception.
You are quite right, Miss Mikatova. Tomorrow's trial will be unprecedented and exceptional in every way. After all, the accused is one of Britain's greatest prosecutors. Pride of the art. It would be unwise to give the public a reason to perceive against the judiciary closing ranks.
That's why you're happy to let a foreigner handle the prosecution?
Yonosuke,
See how your skills have been honed.
after practicing law in this land for so many months,
I don't understand why you're being so hostile to me now. This isn't going to end well, my friend. Okay, Hiller's gun. Yes, we noticed that there was a gun at the scene of Dr. Brixton's death. You know if it belongs to Lord Van Sykes?
that'll be a question for the lead detective investigating the scene.
Well, the thing is, she wasn't sure, so she told me I should ask somebody higher up in mine now. That's right, Mr. Naruto. Be direct.
It's certainly a model that's issued to all personnel involved in law enforcement which includes prosecutors, as I'm sure you can imagine.
In that case, it actually belonged to the victim.
No, Rickson had his gun on his person.
What about Lord Van Zykes?
He claims it's currently not in his possession. According to his story, he lost it. In short, it's more than a little suspicious.
And just because the gun in question is the same type as the defendant's, there's no proof that it's actually his.
No, of course not.
Nevertheless, the situation is grave for Lord Van Zykes. Can you look at the gun for us? Nope. Is there anything I could show you? I guess not. Alright. Oh. What about the armband? Give me that. It was Kazuma's armband. Kazuma doesn't appear to care anymore.
What about this?
Well, alright, anything going on in Shelms this week? Oh. So she said, are you sure we've got everything we need to? So, wait a minute. Do I have to engage my Sierra adventure game features and, like, present everything in here until let me get something? What about this? You know this guy? Hey. What about this? Oh. That. What about the Reddited League article? No? Huh? Do you know the lady in this picture? Okay. Do you know this policeman figurine? No, you don't. Okay. What else could we show? Letter of introduction? Oh!
Done by Dr. Megatuba, it's been 10 long years.
But you remember my father, do you?
Certainly, I remember him. 2 other visiting students. Of course, Megatuba was assigned to the hospital laboratory, so we rarely met. Chikoku, on the other hand, took the justice system under my personal supervision.
Oh, I see.
As I said, that was 10 years ago now. But I'm pleased to see they've both made names for themselves in the particular disputes.
And what about the red wig? You want to wear a red wig? What do you do? Nope.
I have no interest in red wigs. What a silly thing. You have a hair as glorious as mine, and you ever deny the word.
Are you sure we've asked everything we need? Well, we have. And there's literally nothing to do now. Okay, that didn't unlock any new conversation. Did we examine? Maybe we can talk to Kazuma? Let's see. Sorry for all the worry, but it'll be alright now. Remember he completely turned?
Yes, completely.
I remember everything. Including what I was coming here to do. Right. Kazuma said, I can't tell you how happy I am to see you alive and well like this. But how did you come to be here in London, suffering from amnesia? It was the voice. This past year, I've been hearing it in my head constantly, saying the same thing over and over. Go to London. That's where your destiny awaits. It was that voice that guided me here to London. I'm so sorry for what's happened. Anyway, my memory might. But there's something that won't return to the way it was before. Huh? What do you mean? I'm a prosecutor now, so I'm sure our paths will cross again very soon. Doesn't look like we're gonna clean. Well, thank you very much, Lord Strongheart.
Remember, this trial will go down in our Empire's history.
There's much you could learn from the public gallery. Sorry to have taken up so much. See ourselves out.
Hold it!
Before you go, Ryunosuke. What is it, husband? I just wanted to thank you. What? You took my determination to heart and brought it with you to the ocean in my stead. And you carried out my role to perfection. You always were intent on studying British law in order to change our own justice system. It was your dream, and Mr. Naruhodo didn't want that to die with you. Yes, but I had another purpose for coming here. Oh! I actually have a favor to ask. Which is? This trial I'll be prosecuting tomorrow. I'd like you to be there to see how it ends. In front of me, as the defense counsel. What? What's this all about? I know you have what it takes. Lord Van Zykes would never put his fate in my hands. He recognizes your talent. He does? It's not easy to see behind the facade sometimes. Here, have a look at this. That's Lord Van Zykes and Inspector Gregson. The photograph must have been taken some time ago. Look at it. Who's the third person? It's his brother who got murdered by the professor. It was displayed very prominently in the detective's office. Gregson's office, you mean? Yes, what I'm trying to say is, if you think you can trust the reader, you might find that some straight talking makes him take a different view. Take it. It's this photograph. Understand. Why are you giving me this? Just hurry, Ryunosuke. Visiting hours at the prison are almost. What are you doing, Katsuma? Hey. Going to the prison, then. 1st of November, the prison, cell 1. Lord Van Zykes is still reading that letter. We've been gone quite some time, though. He's an incredibly slow reader. It's an incredibly long. Even the English faster than he. I was intending to ignore you but I can't turn a deaf ear to such an insulting weakness. Oh, sorry. I didn't think you'd hear that. I have the case notes brought to me in secret. I was reading them to pass the time. Yes, we heard that your trial is set for tomorrow. Which is none of your business. So, found a lawyer? How many times must I reiterate the same thing? This has nothing to do with you. No. We're just talking to Lord Strongheart, and the prosecutor for your trial has been decided. I'd expect nothing less. Though I have no idea who it is. It's going to be Kazuma Sogi. Oh, Sogi? Color drained from his face. Well then. It seems I'm going to have to engage in conversation with you again. Oh, we have a bunch of stuff to ask him. Cool. 10 years ago, the brother who was the director of prosecution was murdered. And the killer, Juno, the visiting student, used. Not a single day goes by when I don't curse the name of Sogi. Sogi is Kazuma-sama's father. So what cruel twist of fate is this now, 10 years later? The man's son is to crucify me in some kangaroo court. I don't understand why Lord Strongheart apprenticed Kazuma to you. It's what he does. I thought he knew of the young man's tragedy from the outset. What could he have been hoping to achieve? Let's not forget that it was only 8 days ago Kazuma recovered from his amnesia. Why would Lord Strongheart assign this trial to somebody like that? Asogi, is the very epitome of my bane. A bane that is you Nipponese. Right, it's Japanese. Japanese bane. Who may just been appointed as a prosecutor? Happened 10 years ago. My brother Clint, the director of prosecutions, sent he down a mass murder. The so-called professor was assigned to the investigation as his partner. There was a certain visiting student dispatched from Scotland Yard. That was Genshin Asogi? Exactly. I developed a deep respect for him. He seemed double-minded and chivalrous in the extreme to me. But none of us saw the true nature of it. So we lost everything. My esteemed brother, people I believed in, and any semblance of right prevailing over wrong. How awful. To avenge my brother, I prosecuted Sogi's trial. Wouldn't ordinarily have been allowed, but I beleaguered and be ascribed prosecutor. He consented. What do you mean by the ascribed prosecutor? The man in charge of the professor case in Lord Mayor Strongheart. Wait, what? Lord Strongheart? He was a highly accomplished prosecutor. He agreed to relinquish me and act as my advisor instead. Since that time, he's the only one person to whom I felt indebted. I'm sure he must have seen your zeal for the case and recognized your potential as a prosecutor. Anyway, time passed, but then earlier this year, you should arrive in London. But you... and all things, as a lawyer. I felt your animosity the first time I ever faced you in the courtroom. Your obvious deep loathing was Japanese. I kept telling myself it was illogical. But for so many years, that hatred had festered inside me. I could no longer control it. I can understand why. I know the history. But in the same way that I've long felt the Nipponese to be the bane of my life, Kazuma Asogi, the bane of his. Nippa said his father. He's looking. He intends to take it. Let's talk about Gregson. Gregson's transfer to the Paris police prefecture has finally been arranged for the coming month. He'll never make it to France now. It's a tragedy. Oh yes, come think of it. He did mention something about it. I wonder, does it happen often? Being transferred internationally, I mean? It's the first time I've ever encountered it. The Paris police welcoming an English detective is almost inconceivable. I can't imagine what kind of magic Gregson must have worked to put that arrangement in place. Sounds like that mystery has even the Reaper perplexed. Afraid to say that we were very ignorant of Dr. Gregson's standing. We hear that he was considered something of a legend in Scotland Yard. Hey, it's the theme song. Again, it was 10 years ago. Must have been a name for himself. Uncovering a decisive piece of evidence that exposed the professor's identity. If it wasn't for Gregson's singular approach to the case, the discovery would never have been made. Sort of approach. After my brother's life was taken, the inspector arranged for a full autopsy. Why, 10 years ago? Why is that so surprising? Autopsy was considered a desecration of the body, and rarely performed. My brother, of course a noble, had made the idea of it unthinkable. But something Gregson had dug up in his investigations made him determined to was necessary. His powerful conviction somewhat influenced the House of Lords, and as a result, I could avenge my brother's death. So you must have had great confidence in the inspector's abilities then. And it's even more inconceivable that you would have taken his life. I don't have confidence in anyone. And I'm sure Gregson felt the same way. No doubt he thought of me as Reaper, just like the rest of them. They went on with Van Sykes and Gregson, I wonder, was the true nature of their relationship. Let's talk about your gun. About the gun used to shoot the inspector that was found at the scene. Oh yes, that's not mine. Really? Because common opinion seems to be that it is. What do you expect me to say to that? Well, Strongheart informs us that you claim to have misplaced your firearm. As embarrassing as that is, I'm afraid it's true. When did you lose it then? That's... I don't know. Oh, I was issued with a revolver when I first became a prosecutor 10 years ago. I must have stored it somewhere, I suppose. Or left it somewhere, perhaps. Something in common with Lord Van Sykes after all, Mr. Naruhodo. Talent for misplacing things. No, this has nothing to do with me. Don't drag me into it. Don't make the mistake of associating me with this Nipponese. Here, the rift is very wide, isn't it? So it's not decisive, it doesn't look good, that's for sure. Okay. Well, time to look at the picture. Lord Van Sykes, we came by this old photograph. Where did you get that? It was taken when I became a qualified prosecutor. It's almost unbelievable. I assumed it was long lost. Is the man on the left there? Yes, it's my brother, Clint. Details of Brooks and Foot. First on the left is Lord Clint Van Sykes. Yep. Okay. Had to be, really. Apparently, this picture was prominently displayed in Gregson's office. He had a deep respect for you. Were you aware of that? Respect? It's nonsense. No, we've heard somewhere and attest to it very clearly. Inspector Lupino Lestrade was. Maybe once, yes. At the time, we're like. We were brothers in arms, jovially discussing the future of justice and other such subject matter. That was a nice glimpse of the past. Thank you. I feel as though I got a nice glimpse of the past land too. It was a glimmer of light in his eyes, a brief twinkle, insight into the true nature of this man, still in full Reaper and alien. Mr. Naruhodo. Oh! It's the first time he's ever used my actual name. I've lost all confidence in my justice system. I don't trust the police, the judiciary, or lawyers. But there's still one thing. It's that. That which you see in the eyes of another. It's the court. Simple determination to know the truth. Lord Van Sykes. From the very first time we clashed in the Bailey almost a year ago. Let me deny it, though I dearly wished I could. Here is a loathsome Nipponese, who has absolute integrity as a lawyer. There are only two other men I've known, the same look as my brother, and Kenshin Asumi. Idolized the man who betrayed his trust in a hideous way? When you showed me that just now, it reminded me. I mean, this photograph? Back then I was able to laugh. I just feared the shackles of mistrust that make me now. I looked to the future with hope. Since then, protected myself against betrayal by refusing to trust anyone. But at times, the Maya, which I've sunk, makes it almost impossible to breathe. I'm so sorry. So, Mr. Naruhodo, I want you to believe in that look in your eyes. I need even when tomorrow is true. Will you advocate for me? Of course I would be an honor. I'm so pleased, Mr. Naruhodo. Then my life is in your hands. Lord Van Zykes, that must have been an incredibly hard thing to ask. That's why I simply cannot put the man down. Tomorrow, the Old Bailey, against my old friend, Kazuma. To be continued. Ooh, almost perfectly at 11 p.m. So that's good. Time to call it then. Alright, well, next week we will continue with this very interesting trial against Kazuma defending Sykes. See you then.